Hey, it's Monkeypuzzle, and welcome to episode number 10 of Monkeywrenching the Beast. Kaboom! And I've been working on finishing this mob grinder. In the intro there, I was just showing you some of the work leading up to it. If you saw my last couple episodes, you'll know what I was doing. It's a drawbridge activated cursed earth mob grinder. They all get pushed off and drop down to there. You saw it in action just a second ago. Yeah, so I've been trying to wrap it up. It's been taking me longer than I thought. I haven't been able to record much in the last couple weeks, but in my spare time I have been tinkering with it, and it turned out to be harder than I thought to deal with the mobs down here at the bottom. Still work in progress going on here. You can see I've got wiring exposed. But down here, I've been trying to create a way to finish off the mobs and collect the liquid XP and or mob essence, depending on what I need. I haven't hooked up the mob essence collection yet, as the liquid XP is what I want first, and to collect their items. But I've been going through a bunch of iterations. This is my most recent one we'll get to, but I'll show you first what led to this. And you can see right now that the bottom part is all mostly blast proof, not entirely, and that's part of the problem. But dealing with all these special mobs has been a real issue. And let me take you through a few things first. And just to make it clear for the folks who haven't followed my previous episodes, I'm dealing with a couple mods here that put new twists on making a grinder. First, I'm using the Cursed Earth from the Extra Utilities mod, which was a lot of fun getting. It was it was a spectacle. There was a lot of death involved. But it's a kind of purple-coated earth. Ooh, that's an issue right there. Purple-coated earth that spawns mobs at an extra fast rate. And these mobs are extra tough. They have potion effects, all kinds of potion effects. So that is a challenge. And I'm using the special mobs mod, which adds all kinds of variations on the vanilla mobs too. So they have extra armor, extra weapons, and there's like many kinds of creepers, many kinds of zombies, many kinds of endermen, and all the different vanilla mobs. In fact, technically, vanilla mobs don't even exist at this point. So both of those two together add all kinds of challenges, like you just heard that explosion just now. Anyway, moving on. So my first intention was to use these slime channels from Tinker's Construct because they seem cool, and I hadn't really seen anybody use them yet in a mob grinder, and trying to be a little bit unique. Everybody's been using the conveyor belts from Mine Factory Reloaded, and you can see these work the same. It's pushing me along, and oh yeah, now I get a chance to push my luggage off the end. The luggage doesn't take damage, so I get to drop it all the time. Unfortunately, however, these didn't work out, and I'll show you why in the next little piece of footage. So back up at the top, you can see if I turn it on, and obviously this is a previous version, you can see how the drawbridges work, pushing out the cursed earth and extinguishing the light, and the mobs come right away. But the problem with the slime channels is it negates the fall damage for all the mobs, and if you saw right there, the Endermen teleport right out of it too, and that's no good because I want to get all their drops as well. So if we come around the other side, you can see it pushes them along just fine, but they're all at full health, so that's not going to work very well at all. And when this Doom Creeper falls, kaboom! You can hear another problem that's going to come up in just a moment. Yeah, so the nice slime channels had to come out. So next I'm trying the Extra Utilities conveyor belts, and I'm using them because they're a full block instead of the Mine Factory Reloaded ones, and there's a chance that I'm going to be able to make them a warded block to make them blast proof. And I've got obsidian on one side and hardened glass on the other, trying to make the whole thing blast proof because it becomes a pretty big issue. And here you can see my first attempt at a little mob processing center. I've got the autonomous activators. They're going to be triggered by a redstone signal from this random things entity detector, which I'm used for the rest of it up above too. So, and I've got a scythe, Tinker's Construct scythe in here, trying to get mobs in a 3x3 area, or it'll just be a 1x3 area in this case. And what else? Yeah, I've got the right there the vacuum hopper from Open Blocks and the Open Block tanks to get the liquid XP. And down below there, the luggage is giving comic relief as usual. So here I am turning it on again for another test. You can see the Cursed Earth meeting. I like how the flashes happen every time a mob gets pushed off. It probably reduces the efficiency a little bit, but it's really good for video. You can see them really well, and it's kind of cinematic, so we'll keep that for effect for now. And it seems like it's going to be way more than efficient enough anyway. So yeah, so let's take a look at how the first attempt at the mob processing works. At first it seems great. All the mobs have 1 health or thereabouts, and the autonomous activators don't seem to be having any problem getting rid of them. You can see everybody's getting knocked out great, and the items are getting sucked up very well by the Open Blocks hopper, the vacuum hopper going into that ender chest, which ties into my whole item storage system, which is going to need to be upgraded because of all the stuff that's coming from this. But there, kaboom, it failed. That blue creeper blew everything up. Not sure if that was a lightning creeper or a mana creeper. I guess it must have been a lightning creeper, because mana creepers don't explode like that. So here's my first attempt at a fix. I just put some water source blocks in front of the autonomous activators so that the creepers, if they exploded, wouldn't do any damage. But it turns out that autonomous activators will not work in a water block. None of the mobs are getting killed, and things build up pretty quickly here. And just for giggles, let me show you what happened when I tried to clean this up. I should have just gone away and let everybody despawn, but no. I had to clean it up like that. I don't know what happened to the audio in this scene, but it's too bad, because it was pretty spectacular. Got quite a few explosions, and I was really glad that I had made this mostly blast proof, although most of my little processing center there got pretty destroyed. Another part of my trial and error was I had originally tried putting scythes in the autonomous activators because they cover a larger area, but it didn't seem to work in autonomous activators. So instead, I'm making rapiers because they're just more effective if the mob has any armor value. And I'm just making them out of steel with obsidian crossbars just to try to get a lot of durability, but use a material that's not that precious to me. Later on, I can upgrade it if I need to. So here's the aftermath of yet another attempt. I put 4 autonomous activators in a row, and I think I had put obsidian blocks on the 3rd block high to keep Endermen from going in the water. You can see I still had the same problem with creepers exploding. So that brings us to the present. I've upgraded things here a little bit. I've got a surface to stand on. And I'm not sure if this iteration is going to work or not, but still based on the extra utility conveyor belts. But now I've got 4 blocks of water, which is hopefully enough room to get all the exploding creepers into. And I've got 4 autonomous activators there with the rapiers to dispatch them. Then up here, 3 blocks high, I've got these to keep Endermen that are getting pushed this way from going into the water. But I used conveyor belts this time to drop anybody who falls on there. They'll have a heart and a half, maybe less damage, but the rapiers hopefully can handle that. And then on the 3rd block high, I've got the autonomous activators, so hopefully I'll just hit the Endermen in their head and not hit the creepers before they get over to the water, which I think is what's happening. I think these count as players, and if the creepers aren't killed right away for some reason or another, then they go into their little explode mode. So let's see what happens. I'm going to close this up with some of this hardened glass, and we'll go upstairs and turn it on. If I got it all right, hopefully everything's ready to go. And now I've got it so I can turn everything on from this one central place. I still have the signals divided in case I only want to turn on one side at a time, because you see what happens when I get too many creatures in there at once. So maybe we'll just start like that and see what happens. Let's go down there and watch what happens. So he got hit right there before he even went in, so that's not exactly working yet. The skeleton is able to run against the conveyor belts, and he's got quite a few hearts for some reason. That took care of him. That was good. He died on contact, which is not good. Anyway, I'm going to sit here for a while and watch what happens. Boom. Okay, well, he exploded in the water, which got rid of the items. Apparently not getting killed quick enough. Those guys aren't getting attacked at all. Now what we don't want is these guys to explode over here. And that Enderman's taking a while to go. And he's blocking them from going in. Mana creepers explode no matter what. Good, that was another explosion in the water. But that wasn't the mana creeper explosion, because they actually don't do damage like that, I thought. Anyway, this is kind of tricky. I'm going to stay here for a while longer and see what happens and see if I can make any conclusions. So I've been watching it for a while and things are getting pretty crazy. So far the thing hasn't blown up. All the explosions have been in the water. But I think part of what's happening is that the cursed earth mobs have extra strength, right? Or not just strength, but just abilities, potion abilities. And they're not all getting down to the 1 heart damage or half heart damage that I wanted them to get to. I think they're healing because the distance is right, and we were resetting their fall with the vines there. But they must be healing or regenning somehow, because yeah, some of their health is really unaccounted for, and so it's taking multiple hits to kill them, and it gives it, and somehow the autonomous activators trigger their exploding responses. I don't think this happens with the Mine Factory reloaded grinders. I'm wondering if it happens with turtles. I'm kind of attached to using the autonomous activators because I can then put looting on the rapiers and get a lot more items and XP out of them. Then the Mine Factory reloaded grinders actually give you way less XP and mob essence than either the looting things inside of autonomous activators or even turtles. So my next experiment, I think, is just going to try this with turtles and see if I use them, if the creepers even try to explode at all. So I'm going to set that up and we'll see. I mean, this could work, you know, as long as they keep exploding in the water, but it's only going to be a matter of time till the creeper explodes out here and takes out some of the conveyor belts. And I'm probably losing items too every time they explode. And it's just, yeah, it's a bit of pandemonium. And I only have half the thing on, and those ones are lit up, so they're not even at full capacity. So, yeah, see, that mana creeper exploded out there, which wouldn't have been good if it was another kind of creeper, because that would be gone, and that might be gone, and so on. So, yeah, I wanted to do it this way, but yeah, with these tough mobs, let me try something else. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up with turtles, and we'll try that out. I think I'm going to start with 8 turtles for now. Hopefully that's going to be enough. I'm going to set them up too high in a row so there's a number of turtles attacking each mob at once so we can get rid of them as quick as possible. No, I don't want pants. And another thing is they're a bit more expensive than I'm used to them being. Let's get some sticks. Let's try 9 because try one thing real quick is I don't think that they can use the Project Red swords like they used to be able to use the red power. Let's see how that does. No, see, that doesn't work. So I have to use actual diamond swords. So yeah, they're a bit pricier than they used to be. So we're going to go ahead and do that, but I'll start with 8 for now, and then I'll increase it if I need to. Just getting this little formidable wall of turtles set up, and most people know how to do this, but I thought I'd show it just one time for folks who don't. To use the melee turtles as a grinder, you just got to go into them, and the first time it's good to give them a label, because if somehow they get turned into an item, they get broken, you'll keep the programs that way. So I'm just labeling these something non-imaginative, this grinder 1 through 8. So that's its name. And then I'm going to edit the program. And the program's name is Startup. That way, every time the server, or even if it was your own single player, gets restarted, this program, when that world gets loaded, this program will start up. So it'll always be going. And then the melee turtle program is pretty easy. You just go while true do, which sets up an infinite loop. And just for good form, it's good to tab in. And then the, turtle dot attack with parentheses, open and close, is the command. And just so it's not too laggy, you tell it to sleep 1/10 of a second. So it just slows it down a little bit, which just makes it more efficient. Go back and end. And then you press Control, save, and then Control exit, and you can see the while true do and the end is the loop that just keeps going. So there you go, and we exited out of that, and then we just start the program, which is called Startup. So now the cursor goes away, which tells you the program is working, and if I stepped in front of any of these 4 turtles right now, it would attack me. I could load the program automatically through this web service called Pastebin, but it's so short, it's almost as much work just doing this. So I'm going to do the next 4, and then it'll be ready to go. Okay, I got that set up. You can't see too well because the hardened glass has so many little particles on it, but if we don't get any more explosions, I can replace this with something more see-through. But I rearranged things a bit. I got rid of the water for now, just trusting that things aren't going to explode, so that the conveyor belts can take things all the way to the middle, keep taking the mobs through all these turtles. We'll see if we need more. And I put the vacuum hopper to suck up the item and the XP right here in front. That should have good enough coverage. Items go over here again to the ender chest. And then I've got the fluid ducts taking the liquid XP down. I forget exactly how the fluid duct gets set. Hopefully I got it right. But let's go ahead and, which one is it? This one. Turn it on and see what happens. We'll just do one side again. And I love that when those come out. Let's see what happens before we go full blast with all the mobs. Okay, we get our first willing volunteers. That one died on contact. Now, why are they dying now? Anyway, that zombie did well. And a lot of them dying when they hit now for some reason. Okay, Creeper, what's going to happen to you? He's only got 1 damage, so that's not too bad. Okay, let's see. And that one will die instantly too. We need to see a creeper that's got more than half a heart. What you got? Okay, here's a good one. He's got 5. Well, got him in 1 hit. Yeah, these turtles do about 2.5 hearts or 5 damage in 1 hit, so that's pretty good. And there's 2 of them stacked, so they can get a full 10. What I want to see is if there's a second hit from the turtle if the creeper starts trying to explode in that time. Alright, that's good. And if the creepers get knocked back here too. So let's see. I'm just going to hang out and see if I can see any of that explosive reactions from the creepers. We got some nice thunder to make this even more dramatic. One of the things I'm worried about is if we have more mobs and this gets really jumbled up here, if they get knocked back this way, if they'll explode over here. So far this is going great. So this might be it. Like I said, this is... that doesn't seem to be working, so I might not have this set up right. I think I just have to change this out. Let's see, get this cover off. And get my wrench. Oops. Vacuum hopper makes it hard to get there. Oops. I didn't want to do that. Let me just get another one in here. 1 fluid duct, please. Alright. There we go. That's sucking up the XP now, so that's good. And don't really need this. It doesn't stop explosions, but just so they can't see me through there for any reason. These guys are working hard to fight the conveyor belt. Okay, there's a creeper with 20. So there's a really good test. Perfect. He didn't try to explode. So I think this is the way it's going to go. That's excellent. So the next thing I got to do is just do something better with this XP. I want to take it up to my auto enchanting area, fill up all those blocks, those open block tanks is what I meant to say, so I can enchant to my heart's content. And once that is overflowing and I can do all the enchanting I ever wanted, then I need to set up a sewer for mob essence. Now, how did he get here? Have to deal with him in a second. We'll let him hang out. But hopefully they're mostly coming through here. But we're going to get plenty of items and plenty of XP. So, alright. I finally got that put together. You know, I just realized before I congratulate myself too much, let's try it with the whole thing running. Full darkness and all the cursed earth going at one time, and it gets real exciting. So let's see what happens down here. Okay, so far so good. Yep, the zombies, as predicted, take the longest because they've got armor. Some of them have really good enchanted armor too, which is going to be really useful actually. And the other step to this is I'm going to, besides dealing with all the XP that we get in various ways, liquid XP or mob essence, is also going to be, I'm probably going to have to set up my first AE system because of this, or some kind of deeper storage besides maybe just the deep storage units. Hey, we're going to get plenty of ender pearls because all these items are going to fill up a lot of space, especially all the weapons and armor and things we get, which each have unique values. Ooh. Okay. Now, so I learned that the Doom Creepers, even though they always explode when they die, their explosions, hopefully, well, it's said that they don't actually blow up blocks. So that'll just be a sound effect, hopefully, and not actually a real explosive thing going on. All right. That seemed explosive, but nothing broke so far, so we'll see. And that was, what you call it, an ancient Enderman, but he's gone too. Anyway, yep, so far so good. I'm going to hang out here for a while and let you know if it breaks. About 10 minutes later, and everything is still working great. So I'm going to call this a wrap. I'm going to put this video together and put it out there so I can get a video out again. And yeah, this is going to benefit us not only from the products of this grinder, the XP that's going to lead to all kinds of enchantments, and the enchanted gear that these guys are dropping that we can get the enchantments off of and use, and have the XP to use the anvil to combine all those. And not to mention the gunpowder and the bones and the ender pearls, and even the zombie flesh can be turned into leather. And plus the special mobs give all kinds of extra little goodies as well. We'll see like what you call it, those little charges, those little fire charges, and some redstone and all kinds of goodies, which we can, we can inventory later. But also this is going to give us the mob essence that runs the Mine Factory Reloaded auto spawner, which is kind of cheaty, I think, but we'll still end up using, because why not? And that's going to allow us to spawn any mob we want. So we can do sheep and get wool, or we can do squid, maybe, I guess, and get ink, or spiders and get string, and so on. So it's going to be a whole new era of abundance and abilities from here on. So yep, this is Monkeypuzzle, and I'm signing out in front of my new grinder. Bye bye.